Hey guys, I wanted to bring y'all along with me on a little surf fishing trip I done. It was a day or so ago, and just want to let you see my little tower, how it looks as I'm walking up to it. It's just set there nice and solid. The waves don't move it, doesn't shake it, and we're gonna see if we can't catch some fish. So anyway, got me an umbrella on it today, but today's all going to be a post audio. I had good audio, but it was just had so many cuts that I figured, well, it'd be best if I just kind of narrated what was going on. And of course, my umbrella is a little low. Next time I'll raise it up a few inches so it's not in frame as much, but I try to move it out of the way most of the time. So anyway, what's our first fish? Looks like a whiting. It's not very big, and just to let you know a little bit about what's going on today, I tried fishing down around mile marker 20 there at Port Aransas, and the grass was so bad. We have a really swift current that's going towards the north, and as soon as you throw out there, it just covers up your line. So now I'm pointing back at this mile marker. It's 83. I went down the bank, and about every 2 miles I went out and I kind of checked it, and I got down to 83, and it didn't seem that bad, but as you see, there's a little bit out here still to deal with. But like any good fisherman, I went ahead and figured out how to make it work. And so anyway guys, that's what this video is going to be like. So if it's not your cup of tea, you might want to wait for one of my redfish videos. Good Lord willing, I'm planning to go out and do a little bit of that. I just kind of took a little break after vacation and taking care of other business and stuff. So anyway, so we just chunk it out there and just fishing with shrimp and sitting up here on this tower, nice and pretty and solid. But you wouldn't have to have the tower to do what I'm doing. This water wasn't very deep right beside me. You could stand there and do the wade fishing thing. It's just you get a little bit beat around a little bit as the waves go by. But and my umbrella, it sure is working good. It may get in a shot every once in a while, but that sun was bearing down. It had a little bit of clouds up here, but not much. And by the time I got down there, it was already about 10 o'clock in the morning, so it was really bearing down. But underneath that umbrella, it was nice and cool. So anyway, I just set the hook on the fish, but I was sitting there letting the bait out there still, thinking maybe a second one would grab a hold to one of my other leaders. If you noticed, I'm fishing with 2 leaders hooked together. It's just the leaders you can buy at Walmart for about $1.50. They work really good out here. I like to have 4 hooks on there. It just kind of gives you a lot more chances to keep a bait out there. You get out in this water, and when the fish are like they are today, where they just really biting fast, if it wasn't for the grass, I mean, it would have been one of them days where you could really get an ice chest full of these little rascals. Now that one, you could have took him if you was really fish hungry. He'd give you a bigger fillet than you'd get off of most crappie, because if you know about them whiting, they're really thick. But and caught salad too, guys, in case you're a vegan. Just kidding. But anyway, and I use surf weight, which the ones I made myself with the wires on them. You really need them wires. It's when you have a really swift current, it's like fishing in a river. If you throw out there without, I don't care how heavy your weight is. There was a guy that I talked to on the beach and asked him if the grass was bad. He was walking down the beach carrying his rod, and he says, I got a 9-ounce weight, 9 ounces. And I said, yeah, well, and he said, and it still swung it down. And I said, well, I always use the ones with a wire. And he said, well, I use a cannon, an air cannon, and I can shoot it out like 300 yards out there. Well, he did. He shot it out 300 yards, and boy, that grass got it. And he had 300 yards, nothing but solid grass, and it swung it down the bank, and he couldn't pull it in, so he was walking down the bank. It was not a fun time for him. So anyway, the fish were biting pretty fast, but there wasn't a lot of size to a lot of them. But that's what you got to deal with out there a lot of times. That's why I use a little hook, guys. You really need to use that small hook. It's a 2/0 Mustad. I think I gave the number of it on my last video. I really didn't have the number handy, or I would tell you what number it is, but it's small, as you see, but you still can catch a good fish on that hook. Excuse me. If you if you have your drag set, you can still hook onto a pretty good sized fish and get him in. You just take your time, and he won't straighten that hook. But yeah, here we go with a little old hardhead. The only reason I put him in here, guys, I just wanted to show y'all my little flipper again. And you watch, I got my hands way away from him, because you just got to be cautious. I go down the leader a little bit, give it a little flip away from me, and that's all you got to do with them hardheads or any fish that you don't want. And anyway, that's kind of how the day was going. It's didn't really hook on to nothing really big, but we did hook on some nice whiting. And I'm going to show at the end of this video, if I didn't already say it, I'm going to show a plate of fillets that I got off these guys, just so you would know what the end product was. So if you are getting a little bit, tired of listening to me rattle on about these little old guys, but you can see what the outcome was, which ended up being a really nice, you could get 2 meals out of it really easy. And if you guys know about whiting, they're some of the best tasting fish out in the salt water. So anyways, just kind of rinse and repeat. We just do the same thing, just bait her up, chunk her out there. And it didn't take long between bites. I mean, if it was out there more than a minute, there was something wrong. You needed to reel in and get the grass off the line or something. But normally you chunk it out there and right away you start getting little taps, and you gotta go with them little taps. A lot of times you don't want to go with just a little small tap, but when you're after the whiting, they don't always bend the pole over. You've seen how little that tap was, and that's a really nice whiting right there. But yeah, guys, it was okay. I kind of was disappointed with the grass. I was watching the weather and watching the wave action out. There's a website out there that predicts what the sea waves are going to be like, and I think this was on Tuesday, and I could have went out on Monday, but they said, well, the waves were going to be around 4 foot, but Tuesday it was going to drop down to 2 feet. Well, I said, well, I can wait a day. Well, I don't know. The wave action wasn't bad, but the grass was terrible. Maybe on Monday we wouldn't have had that current going down the bank, and that's what I come to realize I think was the biggest problem, was the current. Because if you just have waves coming in and the wave, bottom of the wave going back out, it wouldn't have been near as bad. But when you got a current that's moving up and down the bank like that, it's really just moving to the north, not up and down, but it's moving up the bank. It carries all that grass along with it. But I've seen that all the time I spent down there. It'll happen, and then you'll get a real hard blow and a real swift. And anyway, as you see here, I caught a little drum here. I thought it was another nice whiting because he kind of pulled a little harder than some fish. But nope, just a little drum. But we just kept at it, and anyway, I think this here I just chunked out the whole thing the way you see the whole length of what it takes for me to hook up. See, right away as soon as he hits the bottom, you're getting bites, and that's the way surf fishing's supposed to be. If you go down there and you throw it out and it's just nothing, of course it ended up being a little piggy perch, or what most people call pinfish. Well, you know, but they're fish too. If it wasn't so much grass out there, I would have put a chunk of him on my other rod and just let it set out there. But on a day like that, if you throwed it out just really quickly, it would just cover up your bait, and you'd be sitting out there with nothing but a big old ball of grass, and it just kept getting worse and worse. So I made the best out of a kind of a bad situation, and I learned that if you throw really close to you, like just 10 feet in front of you, it was so much better because you didn't have that much line to catch the grass, and the fish were right there as well. And so that's what I started doing. I could have been fishing with a cane pole, but anyway, guys, we just sat there and had us a good little time catching whiting. And I know it's not as exciting as some big old redfish I like to hook up to, but it has its place. I do like going down there and doing that, and I'll probably do it some more. I don't know how much of the videos I'll show, but you know, 'cause I don't know how y'all are gonna like them. I mean, you let me know down below how, you know, if you like this kind of video, or if you prefer my red fishing videos or whatever. Just kind of give me some feedback. I mean, it sure helps the channel. The more people comment, the more people like the video, that all helps get me put out there. I mean, if you think that I should be, you know, have more subscribers and more exposure, then help me out by, you know, just saying hi. Nothing else, guys. Tell me where you're from. I would love to hear where you guys are from. I look in my account and I see that it's about like 40 something countries that people have watched my videos from, and I think that's awesome. So let me know where you're watching me from. I mean, that would be cool. And plus, the interaction really helps. It just kind of, their algorithms, how they promote my videos, kind of looks at all that, the feedback, the thumbs up, the, you know, the sharing, everything. But anyway, I just really appreciate you guys helping me out to get you know, this channel growing a little bit. I mean, it's, you know, it is what it is. It's, just catching these little whiting. I think we're coming up pretty close to the end here. I'm running out of bait, and I had more bait in the Jeep in the ice chest, but I decided, well, we probably have enough footage about all that you guys want to keep watching me do the same thing over and over again, catching. This is a little whiting, but it was fun. And you know, like I say, you don't have to have a tower to get out here and do it. You just get out here and do it. It just makes it nicer to be sitting up here out of the wave action and everything. And I know I move my head around and shaking whatever. It looks like we're not solid, but truth is, it's rock solid. But anyway, this is my last deal. I'm cleaning my hook saw, fixing to go. And a little tip here at the end about how to keep your hooks from hooking everything in your vehicle or whatever. If you notice, I'll put my first hook with my second hook because it's a little shorter than the main line. Then I'll go with my third hook and hook it into my fourth hook, and that way they keep from hooking everything in the vehicle. And the only thing is, then you need to put your weight. Now with mine, with having wire on it, makes it easy. I just put that wire around my reel and it holds it tight. But if you didn't have it, you could just loop your sinker, the lower part of your leader, around your reel, and then give it a little snug, and your hooks are solid out of the way. But alright guys, we're going to be having a clip of the final product coming up. I just want to thank you for coming out with me and putting up with all this shakiness. And anyway guys, hopefully we'll get a redfish video coming up here soon. And just want to say, you know, God bless. I won't say all that for the end of the video, because you know, this post audio you really never know here. But yep, there's my plate of fillets. That is 6 whiting. That's the fillets off of 6 of them, but that's enough for 2 people easy. So alright guys, we will see y'all next